How old were you when you were transferred to concentration camp in Auschwitz?
I was about 16, something like that, 16 years old.
Um, what did you do in the concentration camp?
In concentration camp, we were, at the beginning, we came to Auschwitz. We were put in a holding camp for 2 weeks. It's like a quarantine. And after that, we were taken, I don't remember how long I was there, 2 or 3 weeks. I was taken to a camp in Auschwitz. It was called Central Auschwitz. Auschwitz I, I believe it was called. And there was what it was called in Germany a Bauerschule. A Bauerschule means a school where you learn how to build. And I was one of the luckiest one to be sent there, because I didn't have to work hard in that school.
Okay, what did you build in the school?
In the school, we were taught how to build. We put up a wall of bricks with a door or a window, or different type of windows. And after it was finished, it was put apart and built a different section. Generally, we were taught how to build.
What was the point of doing that, to building and taking it apart?
That's a good question. Because there was one German which he was very sympathetic. He must have been very sympathetic to Jews, mainly not just to Jews, to humanity, because he saved a lot of Jews. Not only Jews, a lot of Jews. He saved also gypsies, because before we came to Auschwitz, there was a lot of gypsies in that camp, and the gypsies were treated. And he saved a lot of gypsy children. For some reason, he was able to convince the German hierarchies that it's a good idea to have, after the war, these young people will know how to build, and they'll build up Germany again.
What changes did you begin to notice that signaled that the end of the war was approaching?
That was about 3 months before the end of the war. We were sent from Auschwitz to different camps. One of them was called Heinkel. Heinkel was a camp before the war. They were manufacturing planes. And we were sent there. We too worked in that camp. There was it was actually a factories. There were factories where they manufacturing parts. At the time when we were there, they were not manufacturing planes anymore, but certain parts were manufactured, which I don't know what they were. And from that camp, we were taken out just before the war, as the Soviet Union and the Americans and England closed in on Germany. We were taken out from that camp, and they told, and from that point on, we kept marching for 2 weeks. Basically, what happened, we marched around a circle. As the Soviet Union closed in to one point, the Germans were aware they closed, we had to go back. And that went on and on for 2 weeks.
What happened when you marched?
When we marched, we didn't get any food to eat. very little, very, very little. And a lot of us couldn't walk anymore. And when they couldn't walk, they sat down in the ditch. And at the end, there were soldiers who took the names of our arms. Most of us had numbers like this, and some of them had numbers on our jackets. They took down the number on a piece of paper, and they were shot. And
Did you ever stop?
yes, I was I too couldn't walk at one point, and I stopped. And I sat down at the ditch knowing that I'm going to sit down, I'm going to be shot by a German soldier. But I was so weak that I couldn't care anymore. At the end, we had a foreman, he was from Holland. He was a very nice man. And when he saw me at the end sit down, he picked me up and he told me, he said, be strong, keep walking for a while because the end of the war is near. And he helped me walk. And I got up and I walked for another 2 days. And again, I got weaker and weaker, and I couldn't walk anymore. And I didn't see the war to be near. I heard planes going and shooting going on. I knew it was near, but I just, again, I got weak and I couldn't walk anymore. So again, I sat down at the ditch. And at the end, there were some friends, which one of them is still in New Jersey. There were two brothers. Them and another two friends of mine picked me up, and they helped me walk for at least 2-3 hours. And after that, it didn't take more than about 4 or 5 hours when we were liberated.